Hello, Joe Yazbeck here for another No Fear Speaking tip. How do you master the art of the question and answer period? I'll tell you, that could make or break your presentation. And the key to a question and answer period is, when do you hold it? Never, ever, ever, ever end your presentation on a question and answer period. This is key. And the reason why is that you are moving your presentation in an upward momentum, and it's culminating in a call to action. If you're going to have a question and answer period after you have climactically built your call to action, you're going to crash. You cannot expect or predict the people in your audience with a question and answer period. It is anticlimactic. So know when you deliver that question and answer period. Perhaps you're not going to have one. Make that decision. Or you could always do this. Give an instruction up front. Tell them when you're going to answer questions. Something like, we're going to hold a question and answer period just before we end off today. Or I'll take your questions as we go. You may not want that. You can always do this, which is a great thing to do, and it also helps your call to action. Tell them something like this. That's a great question. In order to not violate confidentiality or privacy, why didn't we have a one-on-one after this event? Schedule a time for us to talk, and we can really get that question answered for you in full. This way, what you're doing is you're driving the question and answer period to your call to action, particularly if your call to action is an appointment. That's very key. Always keep your view of your audience open. Never try to have a blind spot. Never have an opinion that somebody in the audience, maybe a press guy or someone who looks like they're mad or some nature, is going to ask you a bad question or a tough question. Be willing to have all questions. Take the questioning in order. Don't have any blind spots. There's a certain amount of manners involved with a question and answer period. Keep this in mind. One of the most difficult things to do is when you go in there thinking to yourself, I hope I don't get tough questions. When that starts happening, you're in resist mode and you're bound to get a tough question. Just think about the time when you were in school, grade school, and you said, oh my God, I didn't go my homework assignment. I didn't get it done. And you're thinking to yourself, I hope the teacher doesn't call on me. You're the first person she calls on because you resisted it. Be willing to know the answer. Be willing to not know the answer. If you don't know the answer, tell them and you'll get the answer. One other thing that might raise your altitude in an audience is that if you don't know the answer, find someone in the audience that does. You might have a specialist in a particular subject. That also gives you altitude by delegating authority to your audience. So practice this. These are just some tips for you. Do well on your question and answer period. And I wish you all a no fear speaking success. Take care for now.